Impromptunes acknowledges that this podcast is recorded on the traditional lands of the Bunurong peoples of the Kulin Nation. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging and celebrate their enduring connections to country, knowledge and stories.
Impromptunes, 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 imprompt. Do you hear the people improvising?
Good people of the world, thanks for tuning in to Impromptunes, the completely improvised musical podcast. Now here they are, the cast of Impromptunes.
Welcome to Impromptunes, the completely improvised podcast. You know the deal. All right, we are going to do an improvised musical based off one of your fabulous suggestions. I am your host for this podcast. My name is Josh Burton, and I'm joined by two fabulous performers in the studio today. We have Ryan Smedley.
G'day.
Which rhymes with...
Medley and
Deadly. And we also have Amber Skates.
Woo!
She was miming a skateboard. And I'm Josh Burton, which isn't anything cool. So moving on.
Don't sell yourself short,
Actually, I
darling.
suppose Burton is a ski brand.
Yeah.
The ski
You're
brand.
Which isn't
amazing.
too far away from skates, you know,
We've
just gliding
got-
along the ground.
We've got Tim Burton.
Tim Burton,
Yeah.
clever man.
We've got... what's his name? The other famous Burton
Yeah,
actor?
that one.
that one. You have a brother, he's a Burton.
We don't talk about him.
Oh, sorry, you know,
Come on,
I was supposed to
dude.
know that, wasn't I?
Dude,
So we're
seriously.
here, we're talking musicals, we're not talking brothers. And, earlier we were talking about how our days all started early or late today. Like, I had to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning this morning, and it was dark for like 3 hours.
Wow.
You said
we
you
were
wa-
like ships in the night then, because I reckon I got to bed at 3:30 in the morning. And I was saying before, I feel like I'm becoming nocturnal at the moment. Like I'm getting a lot of creative high right in the middle of the night. And so I just kind of go like, well, come on, am I going to like end this? So I just keep going forever. And I've started moving. But the good thing is I'm about to go over to Perth.
Yes.
And so my sleep schedule is going to be perfect.
Oh, that's amazing.
You know, that 10 a.m. I accidentally woke up yesterday will become a 7 again. It'll all be fine.
Oh, well done.
it's December, it's late nights for everyone. There's God of War Ragnarok on PS5 to play. We're all very busy. We're all very busy
We're
people.
pushing it.
If I stayed up until 3:30 every night, I would not be able to make my 9 to 5. I envy so much people who are able to get by on like 5, 6, 7 hours sleep. If I get less than 8 and a half, I'm like done. I am like snoozing through my workday.
We are getting a nod of agreement from our tech Zoe, who was making very clear that I think that was for them as well. A solid 8 hours. David on keys, can you musically tell us how many hours of sleep you get each
We'll
night?
translate.
Yeah. 7,
29.
but the last hour was really rough.
That's
Wonderful.
the one like trying to
sounded
continue to
kinda
sleep.
cute.
That's when you keep pressing the snooze button over and over again.
Well, we hope you're not staying up late just to listen to us. Go get some sleep.
No, I dare you.
Turn us on in the morning.
Stay up, do
You
it.
can do
Make
it.
me feel better.
Come on.
Listen to us the way everyone listens to podcasts while you're cleaning your room once a year. That's how often everyone cleans their room, right?
Cough.
Oh, sorry, my bad. All right, so we are going to do a completely improvised musical for you all. I'm going to reach inside the bowl of destiny and I'm going to pull out
I
a
can hear
title. And our title for today, Who Murdered Beethoven? That is our suggestion that comes from Matt Eberhart. Thank you so much for your suggestion. What a lovely suggestion. Who murdered Beethoven? You guys familiar with Beethoven's work?
He did the 7th and the 8th symphony. Maybe he
Yeah.
did an 8th or a 6th. I assume that he must have done 1st to 8th unless he decided to skip one. Creative geniuses can do that.
All right, well, I understood the word genius in that sentence. How did you cope with that, Amber?
Yeah, you know the sounds being produced.
Oh, yes.
There was a lot of numbers coming at me, a lot of symphonies.
Yeah, and we love it.
All right, great. So I guess we know who's taking the lead on this one. No.
We are very
I can't
prepared.
believe you're doing a solo show.
Oh, the pressure is not unbearable at all.
All right, so we are going to get right into this musical for you. For the first and last time, Impromptunes proudly presents Who Murdered Beethoven? the greatest mystery never solved, I'll tell you. Occurred 200 years ago, I'll tell you. It was covered up and laid to rest, but now we're under investigation.
Nobody knows the answer. It was untold, the answer. Oh, Beethoven, oh, nobody knows.
Who killed Beethoven? Who killed Beethoven? Who killed Beethoven? Who killed Beethoven? One day he was walking along, perfectly fine. Then one day they found his body floating down the Rhine.
One day, his body began to make a sound, and everybody around wondered why.
Why, who killed Beethoven? Who killed Beethoven? Who killed Beethoven? Who killed Beethoven? Was it an arrow to the knee that caused his final symphony?
Was it another thing like a stab into his lower arteries?
Was it the sound protruding from all their screams?
Was it done by the town crier, or did someone use a piano wire? Who killed Beethoven? Who killed Beethoven? Who killed Beethoven? Who killed Beethoven? Ladies and gentlemen, I have gathered you here today because you are all a suspect. A suspect in a murder of one Ludwig von Beethoven. Who am I, you ask? My name is Detective Sinoir, the finest detective around. I've been flown in just for this. And you, I would like to state your name one by one. You, of course, knew Beethoven very personally.
Oh, well, I was his friend and favorite fan, Professor John Melvile.
Professor John Melvile, and I believe you were the last one to see Beethoven alive, were you not?
Well, as far as we know, yes. He was perfectly healthy when he walked out the door to go and get his favorite almond croissant.
Suspicious. And you, over there?
Oh, yes, I'm Miss Meddlepeddle. Oh, I'm great, aren't I? I just stand here and I can see you gawking at me.
Well, that's because your trousers are down. You need to pull them up.
We were all too polite to say something.
You look ridiculous. You need to pull up your trousers.
Okay, you don't understand the fashion of nowadays, do you? Gosh, you're so stuck in your heads and your ways.
Well, it seems to me like you are just distracting from the point, because as I hear it, you were quite mad at Beethoven, were you not?
Oh, who wasn't? Gosh, he was always going on making this rattle all the time.
It was not rattle. It was beautiful, beautiful music. His music was like none other that I'd ever heard. Oh, how I wish I could have composed music like that.
And of course, we have two more people of suspicion. We have, of course, Beethoven's butler, Splurge.
Yes, my name is Mr. Splurge.
Splurge, you were a loyal servant to Beethoven,
To the end. My one regret was that I could not fetch him his favorite almond croissant while I was recovering from my broken leg.
Well, it seems like this almond croissant was a pretty big deal in Beethoven's life.
It was his favorite meal of the day.
Which is interesting. I only bring it up because there was an almond croissant found in Beethoven's hand.
At least he died with his favorite meal. Was it uneaten? Or was it eaten?
There was a
half
single
eaten.
bite taken out of it.
Oh, guys! Has anyone seen this croissant? I bloody love these croissants. Also, I just found Beethoven in the river.
Oh my gosh, it's Beethoven's Chimney Sweep Jimney Bimney.
Yeah, it's me, Jimney Bimney. Yeah, love croissants, like loving the vibe. What's going on? Like, can you believe it? I think I just discovered this. Like, nobody else knows. I know, it's pretty amazing and blowing your minds right now. Damn, it sucks he's dead.
Well, it seems like you all have a motive, and I'll be interviewing you one-on-one. But first, I need to have a small sidebar with my assistant. I would like to introduce you to Miss Potts.
Oh, yes. Hello.
Miss Potts is a detective in training. She'll be assisting me on this murder mystery. So if you'll all clear the room, I need a moment to discuss with Miss Potts.
Okay.
Now, Miss Potts,
Yeah.
I know this is a very high situation for you all, but you need to stay calm,
Okay.
cool, and collected.
Yeah.
So who do you think did it?
Okay. John Melvile.
Wrong. It's never the first
Very
person you think you
suspicious.
are.
No, I was going to go through the list.
You're going to go through the list?
Yes, I do have opinions.
Okay, who's the next person at the top of
Well,
your list?
then it could be Splurge.
It's definitely not the Splurge.
It also could be Meddlepeddle.
Definitely not Meddlepeddle.
It also, did you ever think of Chimney Bimney?
It's definitely not Jiminy Bimney.
No.
The correct answer is we don't know yet.
Wait, what?
That's right. Everyone is a suspect until they are proven otherwise.
Oh, yes, I never thought of that.
But Miss Potts, I'm so glad that you came with me on this.
Yeah.
I don't think I could manage to do this on my own. Not since Martha left.
Oh, darling. Don't talk about Martha, poor thing.
You know, it's just been so long since I had a cuddle, and I used to rely on having cuddles to be able to solve mysteries. And now that I don't have any cuddles, I feel like I'm not going to be able to solve this one.
No,
So-
it's okay. Do you know what? I think I might have one little cuddle inside of me.
One little cuddle.
Just one.
Right. Well, let's have one very professional
Of course, it's very professional.
cuddle.
Yes, here we go. Ooh, coming in.
Oh, sorry, my hands are very cold.
Coming in, ready. Ooh, here we go. And,
Thank you, Miss
nice
Potts.
little cuddle.
I suppose it would be remiss of me to not ask you. Why do you want to be a detective?
Well, it seems like there's always something to discover. There seems like there's always something to uncover. It feels like there's always something more to know. And when they always tell you that you're slow, well, you better find out how to find all the answers in life, how to find everything and solve the strife, how to find everything you want to know, how to find the answer to the show.
Oh, that's wonderful, Miss Potts. I mean, maybe you could tell me a little more about why you wanted to become a detective in the first place.
Well, I was always just hanging out in the corner, wondering why. Then one day, a little old friend of mine said, "Hey, can you help me find my pen?" Well, I helped them. Oh yes, I helped them. And before I knew it, I found every other pen. And then I said, "Oh, look, I've got a little skill." I thought, "Oh, this is a thrill. I better take it further." Why? La 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 la. How do you find the answer? How do you find? How do you find the answer? Everywhere, but I never really found the answer inside my head. Then I found you, Detective Sinoir. and you started to help me find some answers. Well, it's a funny little place we're in now. Maybe we can find all the answers here today. Maybe we can help them find the way and find the answers. How do you find the answers? How do you find the answers? Well, let's go on with the show. The show.
So, Splurge, is it?
Mr. Splurge, if you please.
Mr. Splurge, very well. Take a seat.
Splurge, we're going to need you to tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit more about yourself. How did you get here today?
Today?
Yes.
Well, you must know that I live here. I devote my life to Ludwig van Beethoven. I've known him for a very long time. We grew up in the same little fishing village, and I watched him compose his music by himself all that time before he got the recognition he deserved. And I
find it very interesting that you would describe your youth with such fondness when I know for a fact that your family has been in servitude to the Beethovens for decades. Would that not cause a man to have a grudge against another man?
Well, in servitude we may have been, but we managed to enjoy ourselves. We were treated kindly by the Beethovens, except for the... In general, we were treated kindly by the Beethovens.
Except for what?
Oh, nothing. I swore I wouldn't mention. I'm bound to secrecy.
Well, he's dead now.
All right, Miss Potts, we're going to do an old investigating technique to get him out.
Okay.
This one's called good cop, bad cop.
Oh, okay,
or,
yes.
as it's known in this time,
Yes.
good night, bad night.
Okay.
Good guard, good queen's guard, bad queen's guard.
Good queen guard, queen, yes.
So
yes.
you're good cop and I'm bad cop. Got it?
Okay.
All right, so you soften him up.
Yes.
You go first.
Yes. Oh, you're looking so beautiful today.
Oh, thank you
Now
kindly.
listen here, you piece of shit. You're going to tell us everything. Give me your hand. That's a knife through your
Oh
hand.
my God! I had a broken leg. Now I have a thing
I
in
didn't
my
break
hand.
your leg. You're just frail.
Yeah. No, I had that before, and now I've got a knife in my hand. What are you doing?
It's all right. Here, I'll take it out.
Oh, thank
And I'll
you
put it
very
back in.
Okay, I'll tell you everything.
Where were you on the night Beethoven was murdered, Splurge?
I was walking back to Ludwig van Beethoven's house. I walked in the door and there was nothing amiss. Everything was quiet as a mouse. But then I walked further into the hall and I saw Ludwig van Beethoven fainting on the ground. I saw him fainting on the ground. I saw him fainting on the ground. Fainting on the ground. I saw him fainting on the ground. I saw him fainting on the ground. I saw him fainting on the ground.
And what about you, Jimney Bimney?
Oh, yeah, well, you know, I've just been hanging out inside the gardens. I love it in the gardens every other day. It's a good view of those chimneys, yeah, the ones I like to play in. Well, as I was wandering round, I decided to climb up, take a good look inside that chimney, and what did I find? Well...
Fainting on the ground.
I saw him fainting on the ground.
I saw him
fainting on the ground. I saw him fainting on the ground.
And Professor John Melvile, perhaps you can shed some light on this mystery.
Well, I was paying him a visit to hear his latest piece. He had just finished composing. It sounded like Fur Release. He was feeling very confident about his work. But then I walked into the living room and I saw him fainting on the ground. I saw him fainting on the ground. I saw him fainting on the ground. I saw him fainting. I saw him fainting on the ground. I saw him fainting on the ground. I saw him fainting off the ground. Fainting on the ground.
And finally, Miss Meddlepeddle.
Oh, well, you know, Beethoven decided to take me in to his room to play me a little something he'd written. And, well, you know how I feel about that whole, well, trash. But, you know, I thought I'd entertain him once and for all, give him a listen. And then he started to play. And I heard a bang from outside. What was that? I thought. So I went to have a look. Looked out the window. And before I knew it, the music had stopped. And I turned around, and Beethoven was gone.
I saw him fainting on the ground. 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 I saw him fainting on the ground.
It's a ripper start to 2023 as Impromptunes is touring not 1, not 4, but 3 seasons.
That's right, and for the first time ever, we're going to be performing not only in Perth Fringe World in January,
But also Adelaide Fringe Festival in February.
and wait for it, in April, Melbourne International Comedy Festival.
Details for each of the seasons can be found on the Impromptunes website.
Or if you're feeling brave, any local social media retailer.
See you there, tutors.
Miss Potts, I'd say the investigation's all going pretty well, wouldn't you?
Yes.
I'd say that each one of them could easily be convicted guilty. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, maybe.
I think that it honestly doesn't even really matter. I think we could just point at someone and say, you did it, it's you, off to the clink you go.
Well, I feel like we've hardly even got to know what's going on.
Oh, come on, they're all shit. I really, screw them, honestly. I mean, they're all very annoying. None of them are German, which is where we're supposed to be. So,
That is right.
There's a lot going on here.
right.
I said I got flown in for this. I have a justifiable British accent. You
Yes,
can't. No comments. Don't at me. Do not at me.
I will not at you. Unless you make me want to at you.
I don't want anyone to at me. Look, I'm going to be perfectly clear, Miss Potts, because, you're on my side. But listen, it was me. I did it. I killed Beethoven, and I framed all of these fuckwits.
What?
Yes, it was me. Oh, how delectable, right?
Oh, come on! Detective Sinoir, just
I-
one time without doing that.
What do you mean one time without doing that?
Seriously, everywhere we go!
How do you know about the others?
Oh, come on! I always am trying to find the answer. And most of the time I do.
Well, maybe, I guess you can't figure out this one. What was I had no motive. Bet you can't figure it out, Miss Smarty Pants.
Oh. Now you say that. I never thought of that. I thought you just did it because it was fun.
No, it was fun. In fact, you know what? I could use another cuddle.
Not today, darling. Just give it a day to cool off.
Because the cuddles reminds me of Martha, and she's not around anymore, and, that makes me sad.
Oh, come on! Gosh, you're so obvious!
Am I? What, that I need a cuddle?
Oh, seriously. Sinoir, everywhere we go! It's always about Martha! God, who's seen Martha this time? Oh, here we go! I guess it was Beethoven!
What? How did you know? What? I mean, Martha didn't know Beethoven. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no reason they'd know each other.
Come on, Sinoir. It's obvious.
You're so damn obvious. Why are you always so damn obvious? Just be subtle for once.
I can't, all right? And that's why Martha left me. She said, I'm leaving because you have no subtlety.
Oh, well, she was right.
It's hard to be so obvious. It's hard to be so brash. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I do as I please, and that offends you. Well, I'm sorry. It was me. I killed Beethoven. It was me.
It was you.
I killed Beethoven. I had the motive. I had the reason. It was all that I want. All it took was a drop of cyanide in his favorite almond croissant. It was me. I killed Beethoven. It was me. I killed Beethoven. And now you
Oh, what?
are on my radar because you ruined it so far.
Oh.
I know you. You've got a past, and I'll make sure that your future doesn't last. Just like I did with Beethoven. Because it was I. I killed Beethoven.
You killed Beethoven.
It was I, it was me. Yes, I killed Beethoven. It was I,
It was you.
it was me.
It was you.
Yes, I killed Beethoven. It was I, yes, I killed Beethoven. And now I'm kind of hungry.
Oh, everyone, come in the room.
What is it? What is it? Have you got some news?
I'm really sorry. I really am. You know, I thought one time, I would go out and actually be able to help people.
Oh, but you didn't you, Miss Potts? Because we know who killed Beethoven, don't we?
You do. Who did it?
Oh, yes.
Tell us, please.
I'm really sorry, everyone. This is going to be really, really disappointing.
Wait, Miss Potts, before you say anything.
No.
Before you say
what?
anything.
What? Okay, go on. Tell me.
I'm just gonna
What
do
do you
it.
have to say for yourself?
I'm just.
Poor
I'm just.
you. Oh,
I'm just
can't
gonna-
get a
wait,
word. Yes?
I'm just going to do a quick good cop, bad cop, all right? So listen, you don't have to tell them if you don't want to, okay? It's totally fine, all right? You don't have to. You fucking tell anyone. I'll lose it. I will lose it. I will throw everyone off of this balcony, and then myself, but not before writing a note saying that I hate you.
Okay.
But you know, if just do what you want. Do what you want to do. I'm totally chill. I'm totally cool.
Have you got that all off your chest now? Yes?
Yes.
Come here.
Oh, yes.
Come here.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
It's time.
Cuddle.
It's time
Yes.
for a cuddle.
Thank
All right?
you.
Shh.
Thank you.
shh,
What are you doing? Stop!
Get him down!
What? What are you doing?
That's right. If it wasn't obvious enough, it was Detective Sinoir all along, always murdering everybody he comes into contact with.
You mean he's murdered more than once?
Oh God, everywhere I go! I always think maybe this time I'll be able to help out, but I am through with his nonsense. And that's why it was time to take him down.
You poisoned him.
He did, and he's on the floor dead, so he really can't hear you anymore.
Yes, but I like to picture that he can. You bastard! Maybe if I yell loud enough, I can get this message to travel to the great beyond!
your prayer has been answered, for it is I, the ghost of Beethoven, emerging before you. You see, I was cursed when I ate that croissant, and I could not pass on until my murder was solved. So thank you. Thank you, Miss Potts.
Thank you, Beethoven.
I composed this symphony just for you. Of course, I was deaf when I did it, so it sounds terrible. A bit like this.
I think it's beautiful.
Oh, so different and unusual.
I love Beethoven when he goes atonal.
I call it fill my pot. Because you filled my... Anyway, fading on to the great beyond now. Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Oh,
Gosh.
at least he's at peace now.
Well, if that's what you call it.
Well, good point. Yes, I would still rather that he was here.
Oh, wouldn't we all rather that they were here still?
But people have to die at some point, and at least it was interesting.
Oh,
At least it made a mark. People have to die sometime. People have to die every day. People have to die sometime. May as well make your mark some way.
people have to die
Sometimes people have to die every day. People have to die sometimes. People have to die. Make your mark some way.
It happens in rain or in shine. You can be hit by a moving car or be poisoned and drowning in the Rhine.
It can happen on the streets. It can happen when you're on your feet. It can happen just because you slouch. It can happen when you sit for too long on your couch. People have to die sometime. People have to die every day. People have to die sometimes. People have to die. Make your mark
Some way. Some way.
People have to die sometimes. People have to die every day. People have to die sometimes. Make your mark.
Some way.
Well, I think we can all agree that that was a happy ending. Everyone lived happy. Well, everyone died happily ever after.
Some home truths, some really useful lessons. I
So
feel.
beautiful and inspiring.
Exactly.
You know, we got to meet such a wonderful cavalcade of characters. Did you guys reach into your bag there?
We pulled them all out for you guys today.
And we answered the most important question of all, which was who murdered Beethoven? The answer was, of course, Detective Sinoir.
made it pretty obvious.
Yes,
did,
not
you did.
subtle at all.
Yes, and thank you to Matt, who wrote our suggestion of who murdered Beethoven. We are so happy to have provided an answer to one of life's long mysteries. And you know, just remember, if you're ever feeling down, people have to die sometimes. People have to die every day. People have to die sometimes. May as well leave, may as well leave, may as well leave your mark some way.
it's Emmett Nichols here, and in an unexpected turn of events, I will be performing a solo stand-up show. That's right, for the first time in 10 years as part of the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, my debut as a solo act. The show is called Not Church, and it's an atheist church service run by me, songs, bread and wine, greeting your neighbour. It's going to be a whole bunch of fun and silliness. Now, there's only 4 shows, so book now or regret it for all eternity.